Like most other people my age, the thought of working a 9 to 5 always felt kind of like a nightmare to me. When I was about to graduate from college, the 9 to 5 was the thing I dreaded the most. The thought of having a robotic life where the same boring things happen every day, where my existence is summarized by the amount of traffic there was on the way to work and how much I get done during the 8 hours I spend in the office, where the most exciting thing that happens is that someone brought donuts for our floor in the morning or there's free leftovers in the break room, was terrifying. After interning for a couple of summers, when it came to the 9 to 5, I knew the drill. I was going to come into the office, do the same few tasks over and over, and wait for the minutes to pass by until I could go back home. And all that would really happen once I'd get home was that I'd eat, sleep, and repeat. For a while, this is exactly what my days looked like, and I struggled a lot to adjust to it. The days blurred together, and I felt myself growing frustrated by how mundane life was compared to all the crazy things that always seemed to happen in college. I wished desperately to turn back the clock and move back to College Station. But everything changed when I started reading The Alchemist and came across the following line. When each day is the same as the next, it's because people fail to recognize the good things that happen in their lives every day the sun rises. For context, The Alchemist is a book that follows a little boy, Santiago, on his quest for treasure, which he refers to as his personal legend. Now, it's not unusual for me to come across artwork that feels as though it's holding a mirror to my soul and reflecting it back to me, but I think The Alchemist did an exceptional job at being very universal. Reading that line was an important moment for me because it's when I realized that I was someone that failed to recognize the good things that happened in my life every day. While I was busy comparing my current reality to my previous one, I was missing the beauty in the life that was right in front of me. Instead of being upset about my 9 to 5, I realized I was lucky to have one. Instead of being upset about the fact that the most exciting things to happen during the workday was that someone brought donuts, I learned to be grateful that someone was thoughtful enough to do that. Instead of seeing every day as an endless array of days that blur together, I decided to look for moments to appreciate in each of them. Keeping a journal of 5 things I'm grateful for each day has helped a lot with this. The trick has been to be as specific as possible. Instead of writing things like, I had fun hanging out with my friend, I started writing things more along the lines of, during our hangout, I'm glad we got to talk about XYZ, which provided me with a lot of clarity and direction. Adding specificity to my gratitude entries really helped drive home the lesson from The Alchemist to remember to see the good things that happen each day. The more specific, the better. Additionally, there's a part of The Alchemist that discusses a time in the main character's journey when he feels like giving up his dream and ends up spending a year working at a crystal shop. The job is a bit boring and repetitive, but he takes pleasure in it and finds ways to make it interesting for himself. Although working at the crystal shop isn't necessarily Santiago's personal legend, he plays a big role in driving customers to the shop and comes up with creative new ideas to help expand the business. Even though he wasn't exactly where he wanted to be, he learned to make the most of it. After his time at the crystal shop, Santiago had learned just about everything there was to know about crystals, and felt reinvigorated to continue in the direction of his personal legend. In many ways, I feel as though I'm in my crystal shop year. When I was graduating from college, I wanted to move to New York and have this crazy, exciting life. Instead, I ended up getting a job back in my hometown, and although I may not be exactly where I want to be just yet, or even anywhere close, I am learning to see the value in this time in my life. I'm learning so much from all the people I've met at my new job. I've been having fun getting to know new people while getting to keep up with my old friends. I'm grateful to have the chance to spend extra time with my family, which I didn't always get to do when I was in college. Sure, sometimes difficult things happen, and it isn't always easy, but I trust that we can navigate through the challenges that come our way. I've always believed that art finds me when it's meant to, and I couldn't think of a better time to have stumbled across The Alchemist than right after graduating college, when the world feels like our oyster and we have yet to realize or even discover our personal legends. Right as I thought I was done learning, The Alchemist came into my life and taught me that we're never really done learning, that we are always learning the language of the universe. Reading about the way Santiago took the time to learn from every situation was the reminder I needed that our lives are full of lessons, and we can find those lessons anywhere. In a crystal shop, in New York City, in a 9 to 5, or even in a donut.